Good morning, y'all. It is August 18th, 2026, Tuesday, and we have a nice little downtrend. 29,690. NASDAQ is rolling back over. S&P as well. All eyes on the bond market. Whole bunch of news about the bond market this morning across all of the various social media platforms and news outlets, etc., etc. So it's interesting. We are seeing some massive destruction in the bond markets here. Yields, bonds, everything are just going crazy. We're now spiking not only into 2007 levels, but beyond 2007 levels. Massive bottom wick with volume here on the NASDAQ at 700. I would look for a too much, too fast little play here, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. And yeah, that's what we're doing here. Welcome. Bienvenidos. What's up, Anthony? Good morning. Massive bottom wick already to the tune of about 100 points, nearly 100 points. So far, things are playing out pretty much how I expected. I was expecting a lot more selling this week than prior. It is happening a little bit earlier than I anticipated. I was thinking maybe Wednesday they was going to start to roll, but they're doing it already. If you look across, we have 30-year yields here are just rocket ships, absolute rocket ships now. Now, in all fairness, it's been rocket ships since coronavirus. If we look on the monthly chart here, what happened is that we had, 20 years of downtrending yields. And then what happened, these are monthly candles, by the way. 2020, we had the old shenanigans, liquidity. And then it's rocketed from almost a negative rate to now 5.37. And what do you see here is a difference in the 30-year yields since inception of 1987 until now. Something is going on. Can y'all hear me? Is the Discord out again? I feel like I'm talking into a void. What's up, Marcus? How you doing? Yeah, so the main issue here is that we have a major change in character for the 30-year yields. This is from 1987 until 2020, and now we have 2020 until now. Yields are absolutely atrociously rocketing, unlike anything we've ever seen before. And now we're already back to 2007 levels. We're about to pop 2007 and start going back into 2000 levels. Meanwhile, this explains why the bond market continues to slide. The bond market cannot gain any traction whatsoever, simply because the yields are just rocket ships. All that to say, right here, NASDAQ, back and forth. Nice little bounce on NASDAQ, already top wicking. It should make for an interesting couple of years. Faux show. Thank you for attention to this matter. That's right. Yeah, yesterday Discord had some major problems. It seemed like half the people couldn't hear, half people could, so hopefully that they fix that. Right now we have put buying and calls are back and forth. Technically call selling, but it's very back and forth. Already we have kind of downtrended ever since about 9 o'clock Eastern time last night. The market sold yesterday, but very slow, and then we began to accelerate at about 9 p.m. last night, and here we are from the settlement open of 118 all the way into 6.5 for about 400 points just in the overnight session alone. We have FOMC minutes tomorrow. If you notice the fear change, by the way, NASDAQ is getting wrecked. If you notice the fear change, and especially for those who have read Anna Colling's book, what happens to the sentiment of the news headlines during bearish conditions? And it begs the question of which precedes the other. Does the tail wag the dog or the dog wag the tail? Because all of a sudden, after the euphoria bullishness the past 2 weeks, all of a sudden, the yields are in the spotlight, even though they've been going up now for 6 years, and it hasn't stopped even throughout the euphoria bullishness last week. All of a sudden, everyone's focusing on the yields and how bad everything is, and blah, blah, blah. And here we are, 600 points down from yesterday's highs. So it's funny how that works. It's all nonsense, people. It's all nonsense. Also, taxation is theft, and the IRS is public enemy number one. NASDAQ bottom wick, RTY bottom wick. We have a little bit of data aggregation in the rhythmic. We have call, selling, put buying. We have liquidity on the S&P from 77.40 up to 77.60. Sorry, I paid my quarterly taxes yesterday, and I want to jump off the building. But yeah. All right, nice little bottom wick NASDAQ coming up. We have 29,600 to the downside. I do expect a little bit of bullish reprieve here in the open simply because of too much too fast, and then we'll kind of go about our business to see how things go. Yeah, buddy. Boom. High volume top wick, 934. Liquidity, 29,9675, 67. Guess I haven't missed much. No, not yet. Not yet. I'm sure we'll have a nice move. Hopefully a little bit more than yesterday as volatility begins to expand into all the events. Looking at the VIX now, it's up 3% in 15. Still not high, but higher than it was. High volume top wick. Oh, this freaking indicator. All right, we have put buying, call selling still. Put buying, call selling. For some reason, TPT won't accept my credit card for a new account. That's weird. Shoot them a message. I love VIX X days. Good history with those. Nice. All right, NASDAQ is here, 29,700. We have a 5-minute doji. We have a green here. Overall, a nice little downtrend. Looking left, we have a pivot at 535. 535 is last week's lows. That'll be a very, very crucial level to play off of. And I hope we go down there simply because of the confidence of the pivot off of it. Right now, the bulls are doing its thing, eating back up. Let's let the bullish reprieve come out before we begin to do any more shorting. A little too much, too fast bounce. Bottom wicks. Remember yesterday what they did. Yesterday at the open. Oh, let me come out here. Why is my chart so freaking messed up? Yesterday at the open, they did top wick, top wick, top wick, top wick, top wick, and then smashed it. And then after they got everyone trying to short and blasted the short positions, then they rolled it lower. So that's why the open is all liquidity grabs. It's difficult to read. Let all this stuff shake out. Let the bulls do their too much too fast if you're inclined to do any more shorting. We have a huge imbalance in the ES 2 hour right below us. If we flush, we could drop 100 points pretty quick. Nice. 100%. Hopefully we get it. That'll be fun. I'm going to get my trade alert set up and ready to go. Have we decided who would be taking the first trade? No. No one DM me. So I don't know. We'll get something going. I can see buyers holding this for a bit, seeing how much selling all night. No, definitely. No. We have the too much too fast bounce already. A little bit of move roller. We're already up 100 and what? About 100 points, 110 points. Extremely difficult to short after such red in the pre-market, especially without too much volatility. If VIX was 20, maybe a little more selling, but we got to let the buyers hit first, close out the positions, close out the short positions, and then we'll see about possibly going down even more. But first, too much too fast bounce. Tremendous bounce all the way up and still going. That's a 120-point bounce on NASDAQ and still going. Looking at BTD, baby. Nice, Freeman. Now we're going to go for 29,790. Beautiful bottom wicks all the way up. Once we take out 790, we'll start looking for 900 on NASDAQ. Blast off with cheese, baby. Blast off with cheese all the way up. They've closed out every single put and then they're about to break into put buying territory. Put selling territory, I'm sorry. NASDAQ is flying, baby. And we're about to go for 790. Everybody come out the gates and they tried to short. Every single person in retail tries to short. And they don't learn their lesson. How many times do we have to do this? How many times do we have to do this? Too much selling in the open, buy the dip. Everyone else, all the other discords, like, oh, red day, baby. We're shorting. We're taking this into the dirt. Nope. Nope. Bottom wick. Coming up to 800. After 800, guess what? 900. Do I ever get tricep twitches the day after training? Twitches? Sometimes, I guess. I like that deep tricep burn. That deep burn. Yeah, buddy. Bottom wicks. Nothing but bottom wicks. Still going. Nothing but bottom wicks. They're going to hold it up here, get people trying to get hope. Oh, I think it can come back down. And they're going to hit the gas pedal, baby. Gas pedal. No shorting. Second favorite muscle to work out? Mine's legs. Legs is my first favorite. Arms are fun. I like the pump that comes with arms, but legs are my first. Yeah, that deep perm, baby. Feel like you're doing work. So nothing has met the criteria yet, even with all that. Which criteria? You're talking about the trades? Well, it's difficult to get a 5C criteria move or 5-minute criteria move in the first couple of minutes. Very difficult. If you're going to trade the first 15 minutes, you can't go off the 5 minute. You have to go off the 1 minute or 3 minute. And certainly we had a beautiful high volume bottom wick. So not to mention we already knew too much too fast. So as kind of what we always talk about is that you have to have a good eye as a trader. You can't only go technical setups. If you're relying completely on technicals to get you in a trade, then you're going to have a lot of problems. You have to have an eye. You have to have a bias. You have to have the ability to reprice action. And this ability is showing, all right, too much too fast. Too much selling at the open, too much selling into the open usually results in a strong buyer's wick, especially after such a prolonged sell in the overnight session. So it's beautiful, man. This is such a common trade that I love extended moves in pre-market, especially when they're extended to the red side. Got 50% of my spread within 10 minutes. Spread them. I like it. What's up, routine? You got it going on. The weight room at my gym is upstairs. I love the look I get after leg day when I'm hugging the rails. It's beautiful, man. I like it. Thanks, Burning. Appreciate you, buddy. We also bounced from SPX 7700. Also fantastic. Yeah, the 0-0 levels on SPX are extraordinary. Expect the big round ones like that. It's excellent for sentiment and defending those put legs. I did a ton of wall balls yesterday for my WOD. It's crazy. I love wall balls. 110 points in 8 minutes. Nice routine. Lock it up, buddy. Lock it up. Still dropping back over. Nice little top wick after 150 points. And then finally they're top wicking it back over. So the too much, too fast move is complete. And now the sellers are re-engaging. So now that we've shaken out the buyers, after a high volume bottom wick that occurred here at 934, if they take out the 631 area, that's when we start going down to this green line, 534. That is last week's low. I hope we go to that 534 area, simply because there's plenty of opportunity to short down there. But the bounce that'll occur at 534, it in or around that area, will be very scalpable. I'm not saying reverse off of it. I'm not saying huge bounce off of it. Don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm saying scalpable off the weekly low area. It's fantastic for those as confidence areas. This is what I live for trading, baby. So you can short down to it, and then once we give it a little tap-tap-a-roni with cheese, bottom wick. I finally had hamburgers yesterday. I loved them. Liquidity's at 600. Large red candles. Everybody get your 50% off accounts on Take Profit Trader. Go get them. 50% off. 3 days to pass instead of 5. Go do it. Go do it, homies. You bought a set Friday? Yeah. What's up, Frank? Used to be in your Discord in 2021. Now I'm back. Good to hear you. Hey, I'm good to have you back, Frankster. I remember you, buddy. I appreciate you coming back. I love it, man. I love it. How's the past couple years been? Trading treating you well? Still top wick coming back over here. We have their first target of the low of the day, 630. If we take 630, I think we're going to come down to 534 pretty quickly. There's a basic Capital One card. Iron Condors launched, hoping for a blowout on one side to make extra money. I love it, buddy. Mojo's killing it, man. Killing it. So in the past couple of days, what's the two changes? So I guess past couple of weeks, what are the two changes that Take Profit Trader has made to become even better? Instantaneous withdrawals, lightning fast withdrawals into your bank account. And 2, now they've changed the 5-day pass to 3-day pass. So they're still looking for, to grind that edge down, which is exactly what they told me the last time I had a conversation with them, is that they're always trying to make changes to become the best. So it's an easy company to get behind. It's beautiful stuff. Yeah, buddy. ES is bearish as NASDAQ. ES is not as bearish as NASDAQ here. ES is still just kind of chopping back and forth in a little bitty 8 to 10 point range. Nothing crazy. NASDAQ got dumped all the way back over. So once we get under 632, we're coming to 534. Yeah, buddy. We do have a tremendous amount of call buying here. So the calls are being purchased. Not tremendous amount, but some. 80 million to be exact, which is not that much. 80 million. I follow a Twitter account that's from 2001, and the account posts news events as if it's 2001. Like they post it in like present time. And today is the day that Enron CEO began to liquidate all his shares before the Enron broke, the whole Enron news broke. So it's funny watching that in hindsight, all the CEOs jump ship before the news broke of Enron going down. August 18th, 2021, he jump shipped. Sent you a DM email. Ever traded his engineers to consider do this? Not saying again. Okay, I can do that. Hey, I will say, routine. If you're going to give this to if you're going to give that account to your wife, whatever, that's fine. You have to be careful. I would contact customer support having 2 different accounts trading on one IP address. If you're gonna, whatever you're gonna do with that, they may get you for something. So just make sure you contact them first if you're gonna do that. Trading's going strong. School got super busy. Had to focus. Now I'm back with business. I like it. I like it. Well, good to have you back, buddy. Let me know if I can help. We're still trading VPA. You have PTSD from Enron? I bet, man. You were in the thick of things then. Here, you know what? I'll go ahead and get that now. All right. Still coming off here. 646. Once we take the 633, we're looking for 534. You said Enron CEO was liquidating 2021. Did I say 2021? Yeah, obviously I meant 2001. Yeah. The wife will be advising me in the background like, hey, don't do that. I violated this rule because of this reason. Do it. I like it. You're studying engineering. Nice. It's definitely tough not to jump on those huge moves when they pop off like that. Have time constrictions and certain parameters. So these are clean moves, but it's also still very early. So we don't have to jump on too much yet. All right, once we get under 633, I'll be looking for 530. Let's come up here. We have pending home sales at the top of the hour, which is not that big of an event, but it'll still be something to pay attention to. My wife is a biomedical engineer. A plumber and a biomedical engineer. Nice. I love it. I love it. Oh, man. It's all right. My wife has a master's degree. And I do not. She's got the smarts. All I did is drop bombs on people. 29,600, 29,700. That's it. My girl's way more qualified than me. Nice. It's good to have one of those. All right, 29,650. We're hanging out at the lows. The buyers cannot give a higher high bottom wick. Let's go to the 5 minute. What do we have? Top wick, red, another top wick. We got to get under 6.3 right here. Sounds like someone's getting. Yeah, I always like to drink some nice cold water in the morning. A lot of nice cold water. Start their day off with some ice water. Get that metabolism cranking, baby. 641. Down into 6.3, and then 5.34. Downshifting. Step on the clutch. Downshift. Put on that Jake brake. We have put selling and call buying at the moment for the S&P. Very, very weak, but it's there. It's not like we're dealing with hundreds of millions of dollars or billions even. It's very actually light on the option chain, but the S&P is holding on just fine, 77.25. They're bouncing back up. NASDAQ is sliding. Look at the watch list. It's because tech is bright red. What do you see in the difference in these two? Look at this. Look at that watch list. And then look at this one. Look at the difference in the two between the S&P. This is the S&P Tech, and this is just the 10 general sectors of the S&P. S&P is bright green with exception to Tech. Tech is down 2.3%. Probably rotation in RTY. I'm sure RTY is hanging on just fine. We have the top 10 of the S&P, which are mostly tech. They're getting destroyed. And that's the difference here. That's why we have another discrepancy between the two. Tech is coming off here. New low of the day. No high volume spike. No bottom wick. The sellers are doing just fine after the little too much too fast bounce. And now we're going for 534, baby. Now we're going for 534. I like it. I like it. $6.11. Let's go to the 1 minute. Still coming off. 30-minute top wicks look nasty. Yeah. High volume bottom wick. Let's go take a look at ES. Still holding on just fine. SpaceX down 3.6. NVIDIA is getting crushed. All of tech is kind of down and staying down. Meta. Watched an interesting video yesterday about the relationship between Wall Street financials and NVIDIA, and how it all ties together in a big old casserole, and what's going to happen when Wall Street is so heavily invested and dependent, and the Fed, by the way, into NVIDIA. What happens when demand starts to come off? What happens if supply crunches? What happens if anything happens to NVIDIA that is not bright green? When there's such a large investment, a large backing by NVIDIA, by the Fed, by the Wall Street, by the financial industry. It's going to be interesting. I was short, tried to set a stop, forgot to switch the type of order, submitted a limit, closed right before that drop. I've done that before. Somebody posted yesterday that yesterday's session was it was on track, and I don't know if it actually did it. It was on track to have the lowest volume close on the S&P in 20 years. The lowest single day volume close in 20 years. One thing I would like to options funding to add is a way to favorite tickers to a watch list, so I don't have to keep typing in names. That's a good idea, a watch list. Here, I'll text the owner right now. Hold on. I have a couple of different items. Let him know it's from me. Yeah. Gabaguli said that? Yeah. All right. NASDAQ is 660. We have liquidity at 700 and down to 600. ES is 77.40, 77 to 20. I think we're still going to get down there. ES is still coming off now. NASDAQ is coming off. Just absolutely just getting it. Getting it. Weekly low is highly, yeah. It's trying to. Here's a nice little top wick dojied out on the 5 minute, 647, 636. Let's see if we can recapture 600 and start making our move down to that weekly low position. That would be a beautiful amount of liquidity to grab. That's 534. Tremendous amount of put selling here. There's no call buying, but there's put selling. So the S&P is not really buy or selling into this move yet. NASDAQ is. And if we break this little pivot, I would expect the continuation here. There we go. Data aggregation limit on down. There we go. Got Gex list right now. Do y'all see Elon's new TerraFab facility in Texas is going to manufacture and produce every component in the final productive chips? I don't know why that's not bigger news. They'll have a monopoly on everything using a chip in our country, probably others, including government contracts. Clearest investment. Dude, I'm telling you, buy it. Everything Elon touches, buy it. The dude's like a modern day Tony Stark. SpaceX, Tesla. NASDAQ is still rolling over, still coming off. We have put buying or put selling, call selling. Trump has no Iranian talks, naval blockade continues. What a bunch of nonsense. You know what I honestly think happens, and I'm not even being colorful. You know what I honestly think happened? They got in a room and said, hey, what can we manufacture so we can pump out as much profitability in the stock market as we can? Well, let's just get in a little minor pointless tussle with Iran and just post relentlessly day after day about nonsense. Brilliant. And just milking it for all it's worth. ES is 77.28. NASDAQ, a little bit of bounce. Nothing crazy here yet. We have a high volume bottom wick that occurred 9:55, but it's not holding so far. This will be the first instance of a 3C bounce that we've had today. If we can get over 665. Pending home sales just came out and dropped 2.5%. Huge miss for pending home sales. Bottom wick. MACDs on the 15 30 minute chart don't support levels. Tremendous amount of put selling. All right. Do I normally go for limit? I never do market orders, only limits. What's up, breaking? How do you mark support and resistance with the help of VPA? So I'm looking for any kind of major pivots specifically on longer time frames, all supported with volume. So whether or not it's a top wick or a bottom wick, I want to go through and just mark any kind of major pivots in the market that are accompanied with volume. Kind of like this. Anytime I see a pivot, I want to mark it, and then I'll go through and quantify it. I'll look at, all right, is it a major pivot? Is it off a major level? Does it have volume? And if it's no to pretty much all those questions, then I won't really pay attention to it. But anything that I have that's pivoted with volume, or a major weekly level like this level here is weekly low, which is going to be a huge level to pay attention to if we go down into it. Overall, I just want to pay attention to where the market wants to pivot. Where does it bounce? Where does it reject? Let the market tell you what it wants to do, and then you react to those levels with volume. Right now, there's no large orders on Bookmap whatsoever. It's all small potatoes. I was talking to my parents about the Hayden Panettiere death, and I brought up how it's very weird she died 4 months after she started speaking out about pedophile stuff in Hollywood, about being groomed as a child, and they thought I was crazy. I'm like, you guys are too trustworthy. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. It's unfortunate, man. In my neighborhood, homes only last about 2 weeks on the market. That's crazy, dude. I live in a pretty hot market, and it's already starting to show signs of stress. I probably live in one of the hottest markets in the country, and the times on market start to extend. $29.6. Although my city actually has the highest amount of apartment complexes per capita in the southeast of Alaska. Do you know why that is? Because all y'all Californians moved here and there's no place to live. Bunch of jabronis. It's sad because it's because our state was in top 10. Yeah, absolutely. All right, still another sweeping top wick. You see we have bottom wicks, top wicks. We can't really go anywhere. If you go to the 5 minute, you'll see where the 3 C's are. All these bottom wicks right here. You remember watching her in Heroes. Another bottom wick. You sure you're not a dairy farmer? I am not a dairy farmer. I do want to get a dairy cow, a couple of dairy cows actually, but they require you can pretty much kiss vacations goodbye if you get a dairy cow. That's why we haven't got one, and that's why we're probably not going to get one. 29.6, another top wick. We can't get any high here. ES is 77.30. You'd have great neighbors. Yes, sir. All right, top wick off 706. What's up, Garvin? How you doing? Can I briefly explain the 3 C's? Yes, 3 C's stand for 3 criteria. The 3 criteria is the first one is volume, the second one is wick, the third one is a higher high or a lower low. So conceptually, I'm going to use these to determine pivots, bounces, rejections, and or continuations. A lack of a 3C will tell me continuation. A preponderance of 3 C's tells me pivots, bottom wick, rejection. Right now, for example, if I'm trying to play a long indication, a long bounce here, I need to see the bounce hold on like the 5 minute chart. We're not going this. Now, I'm not a scalper. I'm not one of these dudes that takes 15 to 20 trades a day trying to scalp 10 to 15 points at a time. That's why a lot of people don't really mesh well with me, because they're normally watching traders and on streams, on YouTube streams, that are just, machine gun trading 10 points at a time. I don't like to do that. I like to take 1 or 2 trades and capture 100 points, 200 points if possible. Sometimes less, sometimes more. So I'm looking for a strong indication here that the buyers are going to hit. Otherwise, I'm remaining short biased on this particular move. And I'm going to gun for 534 on NASDAQ, which is its green line. You're a machine gun? Most people are, if you're in this block style of trading. Top wick NASDAQ coming down to 600. I think there's a good chance we come down to 534. after this. Check in on the Scottish Highlander cows. Yeah, I saw that. We have a friend that is does that, Scottish Highlander, and he says it's ridiculous money. I told the wife we can go full-blown farming. We have kids, so and their teens and kids. Oh, 100%. Yeah. All right, NASDAQ dropping here. New low of the day for NASDAQ. 534. It's coming. It's coming. Here we go. Boom. Things are getting a little shaky. Things are getting a little shaky. It's a 100-point move right there. That is the weekly low level. Last week's low's low one is 534 in NASDAQ. 29 G's, 534. Take it nice and easy. What'd you say the target for the S&P was? The S&P still needs to get under the day's lows of 77.20, which it looks like they're going to do. But if you zoom out on the S&P, they don't have anything. Kind of what Mojo just said until, I mean, heck, we've got a little bit of imbalance at 76.35, but I mean, honestly, it's down into the 7,500s. We can have, if the sellers begin to hit the S&P, it could be an interesting few days. If we smoke 534, then, I mean, you're going to have to go to the store and get some Marlboros because we're going to continue to smoke all the way down into the 200 mark, 230. I was going to go. You're welcome. 585. Now, on these weekly low levels, I'm not saying bounce or rejection. I'm not saying complete reversal off these levels. I'm only saying scalpable level off of these 534 moves. Big put wall at 29.5. Nice. Nice. Still coming off 580. Typical 10 o'clock top wick. It's one of the benefits of not trading the first half hour. Oh, man. You figure the market will set up for FOMC as well? Possibly. Now remember, we don't have FOMC tomorrow. We only have FOMC minutes. So it's only the posting of the minutes. But yeah. 29,534 Pine Beach Dan. Whatever happened to Pine Beach Pete? He's been out of the news lately. I'm sure the powers that be told the news outlets to stop talking about him. Coming on down to 550, then 520. Right in here. Faked his death. He faked his death of faking his death. So now we're going to have like a Palm Beach Frank that's supposed to mimic Pine Beach Pete, who mimicked Epstein. Just a rabbit hole. Coming off here. Watch the volume. We have a volume spike here at 10.10, 220. 10 cents a minute. Do you set a limit order or do you wait for the reaction of the market? Sometimes yes and sometimes no. Depends how I feel. Coming on down. Has anyone gotten a payout yet from options funding? Not yet. I'm still working on it. Still working on it. I think someone did pass the account and get funded, but I don't think they took a payout yet. But yeah. That's the last mechanism to test is actually getting paid out. So quick bounce before lower. All that things, we've already had two decent little bounces here. Both have failed, and I do think we are going to touch this weekly low position pretty quickly, actually. So now they're selling off all the calls. They're starting to trickle into some puts on the S&P. If the S&P can kind of catch up to the NASDAQ, we'll come on down here and make it rock and roll. I have not. I'll do them today. Keep forgetting about it. I'll do them today. Honestly, only like 3 people entered, so it won't be difficult. I might have to give someone 2. $29,600 is the upward liquidity. Not very much there. We do have a high volume spike that came in into support. So what am I going to do? I mark a line there. That is where the pivots came in for volume. Right here. Right here. No, you entered right, Pastor. You're one of the names I recognized. Was someone supposed to call the first trade today? I thought I heard you say something yesterday. Yeah, but I need to confirm that. No one DM me, so I'm gonna put out a feeler today, and if no one wants to do it, then I guess we'll just kind of scrap that idea. But I'll give people one more opportunity to kind of get on there, take volunteers, and we'll go. It's getting very difficult with a nationwide ban on Discord with the company I work for. It's very infuriating. You could always quit. Do it. Become a homesteader full-time. Do it. Go ahead and type your email. I'm out. Deuces. All right, 29,623. We do have a small bounce with volume. You see the volume came in at 1010. Price action dropped. We had volume come in. Bounce. This looks like a 50% retracement. You see these 50% moves here. Be a sell-off, bounce, 50% rejection, bounce, 50% rejection. Just mean revert, mean revert, mean revert. I just missed it. Please let me know what the red line is. Okay, yeah, so the red line is where the support is. The red line is where the support is. Price action falls. Volume comes in at the low of this candle right here. That's why I put that red line to indicate where the support is for the market. And we bounce back up. Now that we come down, if we wipe this red line, then guess what? It's time to go back down again. And this is how trend lines form. Is we mean revert, sell, and it starts to put in what appears to be a trend line. Wow. That's all it is just pattern-based mean reversions all the way down. And now we're looking for the closure under 585, and this will get us down to 534. I love that Fibonacci, man. Love it. Does that make sense? Where I plotted? Oh, don't want to do that. There we go. Perfect overnight low touch on the S&P. Nice. Can you illustrate approximately what it would be on the other side, where it would likely climb to before reverting back down? Well, I mean, I don't know. So I didn't even know they were going to bounce here at 580. The only reason I'm indicating this is because of the volume spike. So price action comes down, a volume spike, bounce. So if the price action comes up and we have a top wick that with a volume spike, then I'm going to indicate the resistance there. And we kind of just start plotting out these ranges to exploit. And the earlier we can see these pivots, the earlier we can play them. But even now, my overall theme here is I'm trying to get to see if the NASDAQ can come down to 534 so we can pivot off of that move. This is a very aggressive weekly low, last week's low. Their qualifying criteria for payout is difficult. You need 8 qualifying winning days. Yeah, but the dollar amount is not that much though. I did see that, but they don't ask like a lot of money. All right, nice little flush here. We still see the same theme here. Nice aggressive red. This should get us into the weekly low position of 534. All right, what y'all think? If you're an option seller, you can start the portfolio to give you 2 to 3 winning days a week. Nice. You think a Ripper's coming? The Grim Ripper. Look at the S&P chart. That is disgusting. Doji, 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 doji. How many times in a row can you say doji? NASDAQ is here. Bottom wicking off the volume spike at 1010. Still holding short, but I got wrecked in this range. Is options showing anything notable? No. We have a whole crap ton of put selling, and the options are back, the calls are back and forth. Overall, though, the zero DTEs today, they are not directional enough on the call side to make a decision. So we have $1.2 billion in puts sold, which is passively bullish. And now the options, the call side of things are just kind of neutral. Not much going on there. So it's a put seller's day. And the buyers are holding on here. And I do expect an aggressive bounce. I was just really hoping to get that weekly low position before they did it. Really starting to get that. Gold has that blasty look. I like gold. I like gold. Couple of top wicks, 44.54. Sorry, I'm talking to Take Profit Traders customer service, dealing with an issue. All right, nice little bounce from 570 to 660. NASDAQ 50% coming up. Another 50%, and yeah, nice little bounce. Nothing is sweeter than getting to the point where your dividend payments are large enough to start buying whole shares. Dude, that's amazing. I love it. The way they just left these lows on ES to the tick. Yep. Right here, overnight lows. It's a beautiful position. Right there. I like it. That's up 15 points. NASDAQ has already put on a 100-point bounce right up to the 50. I was really wanting that weekly low position. Really wanting that weekly low position. That's a bummer. I live for those days, man. Live for them. $1.6 billion puts sold. The fact that we couldn't reach the weekly low indicates a stronger buyer force than normal. We can get a big move up. I agree. I just really wanted it. I wanted it. With all this bouncing right above that low, does that weaken the bounce just to push it through? If they go back down, then yes, I will not be as aggressive at buying at that level. However, kind of what Mojo just said, the fact that they keep putting on these nice bounces, and this time is the strongest of the three, and it did it right above with that kind of volume, mind you, here at 1010. Some of the highest volume of the day came in at that red level. We may not get that move. right. I've been noticing bear trends are tougher to trade than bull trends. Am I wrong? No, you're not wrong. Buy the dip is typically the best way to go about doing things. The only time I really like to chase... Whoa! Something just happened. The only time I like to chase the bear trend is if things are exceptionally bearish. If things are really selling, there's a tremendous amount of put buying, there's an obvious tone to the market. Otherwise, I don't like to chase short positions. I like to buy the dip. And if you notice, those underlying bearish tones in the market don't happen very often, maybe a few times a month. So I'm not trying to sit here and scalp every red move. I'm trying to buy the dips. Play one side of the trade, stick to the bounces or the continuation upwards, and most people will do a lot better than trying to scalp long, scalp short, scalp long, scalp short. You're welcome, Maddie. You're welcome. I have TOS and I have higher volume at 902. That's weird. Still holding right at the 50. I bought 5 new evals yesterday, and they accidentally overcharged me on 3 of them, and they just refunded me back the 3 amounts. All right, Nasdaq still going, 788. 788. CL is fading, TLT is green. Is that a recipe for pop and fade? Yep, probably. Sticking to the 50. I noticed you didn't switch to the 5-minute chart to place the red line on the candle wick. Is there a reason why you did the 1 minute? Yes, good question. So, the 1 minute is where I track volume. However, where that right there is the reason why I track the 1 minute. I want to figure out where and when the earliest indication of volume has come into the chart. So that's why I track the 1 minute. I go to the 1 minute, I look at the volume, came in at 1010 right here, the bottom of that candle, boom. And then I go to the 5. And the 5 minute I confirm the continuation of the price action on the 5 minute, which we got a 3C at 618. And here we are, 100 points higher. So it's a great question. Great question. If I could call the first trade today, I'm entering gold right now. Ooh, I like it. Let's go take a look. I like the confidence. Ooh. Nice little high volume bottom wick. Bottom wick central today, 2 of them. Let's go to the 5. That's a sweeping bottom wick on 44.42, which is the overnight low position. Which by the I like it. I like it. I like it. Today was a day to load up on a TLT to start a position. Yeah. Every time the 30-year yields get to the crisis levels, we get a huge intraday bounce like last week. Yeah, because they're trying to save the market, I would suppose. Intervene. You're welcome, Nico. Great question, buddy. I appreciate you. NASDAQ is still defending the 50% at the moment. Apparently there was an earthquake in Indonesia. I didn't hear about that. How did I not hear about that? .7 earthquake hit Indonesia last night. No, 2 days ago. Dang, I didn't even hear about that. My first week in Japan, I got woke up by a 6 magnitude earthquake. That ain't no good. All right, S&P has nearly recovered the whole range. NASDAQ is probably going to do it after it holds its 50, but the chart looks crazy to me, TLT. It is, man. It's the biggest bear market in bond market history. It's crazy what the bonds are doing right now, and it's scary what the bonds are doing right now. I don't know what to make of it. The yields are doing something they've never done. The bonds are doing something they've never done, and the bonds are the lifeblood of the stock market, of everything that we do. If you trade micros, should you chart MNQ? It doesn't matter. In terms of charting, it doesn't matter. That's a classic video. That's a classic video. I love it. All right. What are we doing here? No, nothing's definitely nothing's changed. It's all gotten worse. I'm in a wood frame building, so shaking's always stronger. More top wicks. Put selling, call buying at the moment. NVIDIA is scheduled to release its fiscal second quarter 2027 financial results on Wednesday. I assume that means 2026, not 2027. That's weird. That's a weird mistake for AI. Another top wick. Yeah, I expect they're going to blow out earnings again. Yeah. In TOS, I was charting MNQ, and that's why I had a higher volume. I switched to NASDAQ to match yours. Okay. Yeah, that might be a TOS thing. I'm not sure, but most of the time, it doesn't really matter which one you do. They're both going to move in conjunction. So, you know, I always try to track the bigger of the liquidity, depending on whatever product I choose to trade. All right, 29,650. We're still holding right here. Things have kind of gotten a little dead, but here we are. I got heavy deadlifts today, baby. Heavy deadlifts. I'm gonna find a compilation video of Ronnie Coleman screaming "Yeah, buddy" for an hour. You're gonna hear the earth shake. Lightweight, baby. Just buy every red. That's right. Still going. Looks like we're holding, rejecting that level. Yeah. We have straight up puts. The puts are doing nothing but selling here on the S&P. So they're doing much better than the NASDAQ. Ain't nothing but a peanut. Did that yesterday with some heavy leg presses. I like it. All right. All right. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Anthropic is going to IPO, and it's expected to be even bigger than SpaceX. And guess what? Daddy is invested in the IPO. I can't wait. I can't wait. Do y'all ever do Bulgarian split squats? My legs are jelly. Nice. I do. They're fantastic. NASDAQ is still dealing with this. 77, 70, 20, 72, 27. I always do 5 sets of 15 reps, crushing anxieties. 3 sets of 10 midlife crisis. I like it. I like it. All right. Beautiful little rejection. I still don't know where they're going with this. We have 3 sweeping top wicks off this 50% mark coming back down. Where do we go from here? This does appear like it's going to come down. Sweeping red candle. Man, this thing is dropping hard, isn't it? Next stop, 537. There's liquidity at 537, which is right at the weekly low positions. That's an engulfing red candle. There we go, 609 and dropping. Coming on down. Very interesting move here. It touched PM low and bounced last time. It did on the S&P to the penny. Longs on gold, losing on gold too. Didn't see that coming. Next to 3 C's on it, 50% is just beautiful technical. It is. It's a beautiful. It's why I've adopted it, man. It's extraordinary. It's extraordinary. Nice sweeping top wick. The buyers are failing again. Failing again. Sweeping top wick. If they break that low, man, it's going to be... It's going to be beautiful. I can't wait. I can't wait. Nvidia's rolling. NASDAQ is rolling. On down. Beautiful. Nice little algorithmic sell. What do y'all think? Six, 3, 1. I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to do it. All right, 610, 611. Here we go, 587, and then to 527 is going to do it. I'm going to do it. It's going to do it. Here we go. I could see a sweep down, but I don't think we close under 77. Well, NASDAQ's going to weekly lows, so whatever that does with the S&P, it's coming down. You think it's data decay today? Possibly. If you're an option trader, definitely. There we go. Nice sweeping red. Can't wait for that weekly low position. Can't wait. Anybody on track to pass in the first 3 days of the Take Profit Trader? Do you get accounts and you're already on day 2 and rocking it? I know one of y'all's done it. Who's done it? I think 210's on the table, which would be a reversal to the August 4th. You blew mine this morning. Terrible. It didn't have much. That's all right. 50% off. I reset TPT yesterday and it still shows 5 days. If you reset an old account, then it's not going to be the new stuff. The resets are still going to be resetting the previous account of 5 days. You have to buy a new account in order to get the 3 days at the 50% off. And clarification, the 50%, the 3 days that pass is a permanent change. The 50% off is only this week, and they're doing the 50% off to promote the 3 days to pass. $29,602. Next target's going to be the low of the day and then a weekly low. Last week's low, which is even bigger. Breaking down the daily to 4 hour and 1 hour. Expansions like are always supported such a time. Should there be any deep retracements? It depends on where. For expansions to the upside, I don't want to see any major retracements below support, and that's the key. If you start breaking through supports, then you're going to completely negate the breakout expansions. Sorry if you're an answer. How long do you think to leave bonds at risk? Honestly, I have no idea. We're already in uncharted territory, Jukebox. So I can't even begin to fathom what's going on here. It's almost like this is on purpose, because you know they're monitoring this. You know Wall Street and you know the White House and everybody else who's got a skin in the game is monitoring this. And it's almost like they're doing it on purpose. Like they're going to destroy everything in order to get things up. Big red candles here. New low of the day for NASDAQ. Give me the last week's lows, baby. Give me the last week's lows. So I have no idea how long they're going to do this. $29,574. Coming down, baby. Yeah, buddy. Looking for 527. ES still hasn't dropped below. They're just tight. Tight, tight, tight. Blue, white, I don't care. Just keep bringing me this. 29,573. What's gold doing? Gold, high volume bottom wick again. That looks like a little liquidity shakeout. Every single time gold drops, high volume bottom wicks. Looks like could be a little gathering. Crash stocks to save bonds, but only after midterms. Very possible. Very possible. That's Michael Gayad's take, is they're going to crash the stock market to save the bonds. And they better get on to saving because things are getting rough. At this rate, interest rates are going to skyrocket to 10%. Daddy needs to buy some property. 29,560. I had a professional, not a heated argument, but a educational conversation with 84 Lumber 2 weeks ago, because I was buying a project. I was buying some wood for a project, and they quoted me 2.5 times the price of the wood that it was a year and a half ago. And I said, why? Have you seen the lumber features? Lumber features are down to like the lowest level in 12 months. Why are you charging almost 3 times the amount? He's like, well, actually, lumber prices have gone up for the past 2 years. I'm like, do you want to see the lumber features? Do you want me to bust out the chart? I will email you a chart, sir. This is what I do for a living. We haggled on price. Which, by the way, if you didn't know, you can haggle price with 84 lumber. You can't do it with Lowe's. You can do it with 84 lumber. 29,560 still coming down. There's no high volume bottom wicks. We do have a high volume spike at 1053. It did not result in a higher price on the 5-minute. This is still straight engulfing reds. Yeah, diesel prices are about to go nuts. Yeah. Yep. It's crazy. They're already gone nuts. Lumber and plywood's gone up. OSB is not. Well, I got him to cut the price way down, so it worked. $29,560. Still coming down, looking for 527. No bottom wicks, no buy the dip, not yet. Still going down. Another 20 points and we'll get there. Would today be classified as a trend down? If they can hold under the morning low, then yes, this is a technical trend down, which we are now below. So if we can close below or climb below the 568, this is now categorized as a trend down day. And we're about to hit the last week's low position at 538 or 527. Am I looking for a bounce at 534? I'm going to look for volume there, and then yeah. $10 more points. 10 more points. Yeah, buddy. I love it, dude. I love it. It's fantastic. 50% rejection on the 50. And eyes are on the volume. 30 minutes till London close. Until London Bridge is falling down. There we go. Large red top wick. Ooh, that's momentous. That is momentous. they're about to do it. Watch it. They're about to do it. I'm lying patient. I'm waiting for volume top wick or bottom wick. Yesterday it really dumped after the London close. Yeah. This is a pretty stout downtrend too. We had the morning bounce to do the too much too fast. Now they're just kind of they keep on trying to bounce it and then sell, bounce it and sell, and now they're stacking liquidity at 500. So yeah, I'm gonna look for them to punch through 527, volume spike, and then a bottom wick for a first defense. And then after that, if they still top wick that bounce, then we're gonna really get spicy into the afternoon. Here it comes. They're gonna punch through 527. Possibly 10 to 15 points below. There we go, 527. There it goes, large red engulfing. We have put buying and no call activity. And we have bottom wick. Very minor volume. Give it to me. Give it to me. What the crap is going on here? Very minor bounce so far. They're holding just above it. 550. Beautiful touch. And up we go. And up we go. $550. $551. $550 over $560. We'll see what they really want to do. Up to $560 is just a scalp. Anything over $560, we get into reversal territory. So $560 is just a scalp. Anything over that, we're going to $590, and then we'll see what happens. That's an extraordinary quick bounce right off that 527 area. And I always tell you all that I can guarantee a scalp off that level. And I don't know what they're going to do with the reversal, but I can always guarantee some sort of a scalpable bounce off of these major levels. Tapperoni with cheese, bottom wick. Doesn't get any simpler than that. Now the question is, can you grab 560? $564, all the way up to $570. Let's go to the 5-minute. If the 5-minute closes $560, we'll have a move up to $590, then $600. Already 50-point bounce. It's like conducting a symphony. It's like conducting a symphony. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I've joined only the 3rd Discord server I've ever joined before. Who can guess what it is? Who can guess what it is? ES bounced a PM low again. Nice. Yeah. NASDAQ bounced at the last week's lows, which is a very easy indication. Nope. Gardening. That's Discord. Does he even still have a Discord? How to scam people.com. Yeah. No. There we go. Still going over 560. We're going to 590. Browse channels. I don't know what that is. No. Red Alert 2. Red Alert 2 has a Discord channel for tournaments. Look, that's pretty cool. Nice. In my opinion, Red Alert 2 is the closest you can get to perfection on a video game as you can get. Perfect game. It's great. All right, beautiful bounce off that level 527. It doesn't get any cleaner than that. High volume bottom wick over 560 is what is the 5-minute move, and then after that, up and away, baby. Up and away. StarCraft 2 guy myself. I like it. I like it. Was this a clean 3C? It's setting up to be a clean 3C on the 5-minute at least. The 1 minute, definitely. 3-minute, definitely. The 5-minute, it's setting up. It's got to hold 560 to do it. Thoughts on ES? It's defending the day's lows, the overnight low position, which is still bullish. They're doing everything. Bottom wick, bottom wick, bottom wick. I mean, they're bottom wicking everything, which shows accumulation. So it looks like it's primed up for a bounce. NASDAQ is holding on just fine. It's extraordinary. Rejecting the prior day. That's an SR flip. That's why I said up until that level it's a scalp. Anything beyond that is reversal. That's how you have to treat these positions. Scalp until you have confirmation, and then when you have confirmation is when you start to focus on, okay, this is more. We might be able to get a full-on reversal, and that's when you start capturing 100 points, 200 points, 300 points. But we got to get the trigger first before you start getting a little crazy and ahead of yourself. Treating this as a complete reversal is like telling the girl that you're on the first date with that you love her. Never goes well. Never goes well. You have to wait for confirmation. You have to make sure she's the one. Is there any other way? Rejecting the 560 mark. All right, so now once the weekly low pivot fails, we got the scalp off of it. After that, it's off to the races. After that, there's no floor on how low this thing can go today. Into the 200s, 250 mark. All the way down. That's an SR flip, which is right here. Prior support, new resistance. And then reject right off of it. And now that we put a new low in, you have to look left. Now we're coming on down into the prior next liquidity. All the way down. 230, 237. 237 on down. Getting cranked. Getting cranked. I like it. From there on, now that we're done with levels, now I'm focusing on high volume spikes. The government will hire sovereign AI. That reminds me, I need to roll that fund. 50 days of moving average of NASDAQ is 483. Next support is 364. Please validate. I don't track the MIs on that. I couldn't validate that. Show me a chart and I'll take a look at it. But at the moment, right now is 237? The next one is going to be, what, 240, whatever the low of this is here. So right here is the next one. We have a couple of pivots, you know, here. You can kind of see them. But those are pretty much already been dealt with. We have a little bit of liquidity there to deal with, but the big stuff is going to be 243 now that we've taken out the prior week low. Now, taking out a prior week low is no easy task. If they can blow right through that liquidity and not really put on too big of, I mean, we had a 60-point bounce there, 70-point bounce, which is nice, but that's not a massive bounce. And they're still holding it. But if they do give this area out, then that shows you how aggressive these sellers are. And, I mean, we're in for a fun couple of days here. Let's go to the 5-minute. High volume spikes. 1050 and then 1005. 1105. All right, I need to mute. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. 15 minutes of London close. ES is not closed under their daily low here. VIX is barely green. Getting close. Here's the VIX. We do have a bounce off the 14.5 mark. The S&P is putting on a small downtrend on the daily chart. Here's the daily chart on NASDAQ. Starting to look insane. That's the strongest red candle we've seen since late July. It's been a couple of weeks. Can the buyers save us once again? Once again. Buy the dip. Actually, this market is easy. Just buy the dip. Crude oil inventories tomorrow, nothing else. FOMC minutes in the afternoon. Very slow now. Expiration tomorrow. It should be fun. The buyers continue to fail. Overall, it's kind of back and forth, but nice little downtrend continuing. Optionsfunding.co dashboard. Beautiful. All right. ES is going. They're hanging out right here at the day's lows. Every time it goes lower, we have a high volume bottom wick. That has to stop. Launch Rick's trade. I think tomorrow will be a beautiful way to start a 50K account. Nice. Yeah, that'll be a good one. That'll be a good one. Things have gotten a touch boring here. We're kind of back and forth defending the lows. Michael Guyette is talking about hamsters now for some reason. ES is 77.16. Pretty soon I'm going to consider a PCS on my options funding account. I'm really enjoying writing premium on this thing. It's fantastic. I'm really enjoying it. How much does OPEX factor into your bigger picture directional thesis? In other words, because OPEX is Friday, you're more inclined to print up or move in the next few days. So I look at OPEX moves the day before. So Thursday is typically when I will look for that. Do they offer long options? Yes. So you can do any options related trade on it. It's fantastic. You could buy long options, 0 DTEs, swing trades, long-term leaps, and then you can short options. You can do iron condors. You can do PCS, CCS, any combination of strategy. It's fantastic. If you are looking to train yourself into option trading, I highly encourage it. Even if you only use it as a trading ground. Instead of paper trading, use this as a way to put some exposure or some risk on the market without actually putting an entire account. So, highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. If you have a large amount of inflow of cash, let's say you have an inheritance, let's say you have some sort of large portions of money that you want to learn to trade on without actually putting that money up to risk, get one of these accounts and learn how to trade short options. It's fantastic. I wish I would have found out about this place sooner. You know what's weird? Little off subject here. I have had 2 people that I no longer associate with, like just, you know, passing friends that have come in and out of your life and out of your life. Haven't seen them in about 15 years. 2 of them, an exceptional large weight gain. Is that common for people to gain like 400 pounds in that amount of time? People who are not overweight at all. It's weird. I always find that really weird. Anyway, off subject. What's it called? Options funding. Give it a shot. If you want to train yourself to do that, give it a shot. I'll post the link in the chat. 70% off right now for an account, and you get a free reset too, which is pretty cool. Military guys? No, not military guys. But, and it's just the fact that they were not prior overweight. They were just normal people. And now they've gained like an exceptional amount of weight. It's like, is that common? I don't know. It was a lot. I mean, like, I'm not even exaggerating. Like, they are, like, it was shocking. But, you know, I've gained a little weight too. You know, people gain weight. That's normal. Yeah, maybe 20, 30 pounds here and there, but like life-changing weight. It's weird. I don't know how it happens. Anyway, yeah, try it out. Stop playing sports. Yeah. Depression. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Lots of folks are sedentary, eat lots of carbs. Yes, ma'am, you're correct. That's correct. Very sedentary lifestyle. We're not out, you know, hunting bison and gathering nuts and berries anymore. We're sitting at a desk and clicking a mouse and playing, you know, I would get whatever games people play nowadays at work. All right, still holding 77.16. We have call buying and a little bit of put selling here. I do think, well, I think we're reaching a point of seller's exhaustion at the point. We have bottom wick, bottom wick, bottom wick. For my pattern traders, you kind of see what's going on here. We have this little constriction price action, which is showing that we could break back up here. So we that appears what is going to happen. I do like the idea of a PCS here. Low activity plus eating, how much they do when they were more active. Yeah. It's difficult, man. It's difficult to trim that weight once you get sedentary. You got to be active, man. You got to be active. The only true fountain of youth is the gym. I need to put that on a t-shirt. I have a lot of t-shirts I need to make. Trying to manage my trading addiction. Always feel the need to trade every day and it's killing me. Hey, DM me, dude. You know, I'll do what I can to find yourself an accountability buddy so they can hold you accountability a buddyable. Trading addiction is a serious thing. Like, on all jokes aside, it's a serious thing. It will wreck your trading system. Try drugs instead. The number one thing I try to teach you all is 1 to 2 trades a day at the most. Like, if I have to publicly humiliate you for taking 15 trades a day, I'll do it. 1 to 2 trades and that's it. And then go enjoy your life, especially as we get into the fall months. 65, 60 degree weather with clear skies and no humidity. Be outside, man. It's great. All right, a little bit of a bottom wick. Options, daddy. I like it. NASDAQ, beautiful bottom wick again. Like a symphony. Like a symphony. Like a symphony. 1 minute to London close. I'll be your partner. I need help as well. Definitely. What you got, AK Wild? A little bit of blight? Oh, the leaves are changing. Oh, yeah. Already fall here. Hey, today feels like fall compared to what we had on Sunday. Sunday was miserable. I felt like I was on the sun. But last night and this morning, there was a cool breeze rolling across the landscape. Birds were chirping. Humidity had lifted. And I felt nice. Closed my iron condors for 39% max credit. Unfortunately, it was an automatic exit. Nice, Mojo. I like it, buddy. One more tick up here into the 77.25. Should be a nice little move on the S&P. And New York coast temperatures feel like temperatures 115. Yeah. North Carolina, not New York. Yeah. They made you sweat another weekly low sweep, but hey, that's trading. That's the way they do it, man. I like it. Coming up. Buy the dip. Where can I learn to short options? Well, you can learn to do it here with us in this server, of course. But if you want an execution platform, use that link I just posted, optionsfunding.co, and go get yourself an account. I'm incredibly impressed with how they do things. Options, I didn't even fathom when they approached me to join their affiliate. I did not even consider short options. I was like, there's no way they're going to allow people to write options. But they do. So I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. Even if you only get one to train yourself on shorting options, highly recommend it. Still going. Boom. Boom. Perfect entry for a PCS, by the way. Perfect. Yahtzee. Massive put selling. A little bit of call buying, too. I did take a PCS on my Rick's trade, but I'm not calling those out because that's not a funded account. NASDAQ and the S&P is coming up 77.20. NASDAQ as well. Beautiful position off the 570. Fentanyl pills are less than $10. How do you know that? Jeez Louise. Fentanyl is no joke, man. That stuff is nasty. That stuff is nasty. Anybody order a silencer yet without filling out a Form 4? How many contracts can I trade with TPT on gold? I mean, max position on the account, so 15. So the original expectation that would go even lower, PCS. No, PCS is a put credit spread, meaning you put on a credit spread. The way I like to do it, which could be dangerous if you're wrong. The way I like to do it is when price action falls, I place a PCS under, and that tells me it could kind of do this, but it's not going to close below this area. It puts basically zone. I consider it zone defense. If you're a sports ball person, I like zone defense. It's zone defense. So when I put on a PCS, it tells me that's the lowest the market's going to go, and then whether it stays here or bounces, either way, I'm going to make money. All it says is it's not going to continue to go down. So it's a bullish position. A PCS is a bullish position. I, too, am a sports ball enthusiast. Do you like sports ball? I like it. I lost all my guns and ammo in a boating accident. Man, those boating accidents are rough. We have a serious meth and fentanyl problem. I've heard that about Alaska before. But fentanyl is bad stuff, dude. Don't ever do fentanyl. Bad stuff. I think I need a paper trade for a while, just get my groove back, built my own capital. That might scratch the itch. I'm sort of trading out of desperation in a sense. Dude, don't do it. Don't do it. I know we joke a lot about trading and what we can do here, but the major change between a profitable trader and an unprofitable trader is the management of oneself. So, seriously, take a break. I cannot recommend enough take a break. Take a week where you don't even look at the chart. You wake up and you kind of live a life like a normie. Live life like you forgot the market exists. And then come back. You have to break the pattern. Go on a week-long camping trip with it and don't take your phone. When do nanos go live again? The 24th, 6 days. You don't have to trade every day, people. You don't have to trade every day. It's not like you sign a contract with the market saying that you must place a trade every day, or you'll have to sacrifice your firstborn child or something. I feel I trade better half distracted coding with Claude. Claude's good stuff, man. Do I use the DOM at all? Not really. You're welcome, Marcus. I can go on a 21-day win streak and get riggedy wrecked in 5 days. No, it happens, dude. Trust me, I went on a 2-month winning streak. I made more money than I ever have in props before. And then poof, 2 weeks gone. That's just the way it works. That's the way trading is. And it's because the market takes, the market gives. But can you control when it gives back or when it takes back? I trade best when I know my wife will make me do more chores if I don't make enough money. There you go. All right, y'all. I'm going to call that a day. Pretty nice little session. Still the slow grinds. What's Claude? Claude is an AI agent. It's fantastic. It's life-changing. It's changed my view on AI. I thought AI was, overhyped. I thought it was glorified Google. The things I've been able to accomplish in the past month and a half with Claude is literally life-changing. Literally life-changing. I went from wanting to burn down all the data centers to wanting to triple the production of data centers. I'm just kidding. I don't want that to happen. I still think overall data centers need to go to the ground, despite my love for Claude. But hey, whatever. So yeah. All right, y'all have a good rest of the day. Let me know if you have any questions. The NASDAQ is doing everything it can to defend this overnight level, and the ES is as well. If they can hold these levels, then the bulls will recapture into the afternoon, but that's it. This is a last line of defense before we start to hit a 100-point sell liquidity lower. We start eating into that big green move up that we had a couple weeks ago. So keep an eye on it. Right now, the options are bullish. We have a tremendous amount of put selling. We have a moderate amount of call buying. If you have questions, throw me a DM. Come hang out with us. Post in the channel. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm out. See you.